Hey Eric, welcome. We'll wait here for a little bit more. I'm sure there'll be more people joining, but could be wrong.
Hello.
Hey,
Just me so far?
yeah, so far, yep.
Okay. Do you mind if I start with a question?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm trying to set up a production report, and I've sent something in already through, the normal channels,
Mhm.
but we're struggling to communicate on what I'm looking for. So all I'm looking for is a production report that's got four categories: one for pants, one for laundered shirts, one for comforters, and then one for basically everything else that I consider dry cleaning or front press or insert whatever name you want. And so I can't remember the support person's name has been struggling with that a little bit. He can provide three of the four, but we haven't quite gotten to the point where I can just have one report that does the four categories.
When you mean you said compare by what
So
do
I'm
you
just
mean
looking
by
for
that?
piece counts, a daily piece count. So four categories, it has the piece counts for each of those four categories. So yesterday,
Hmm.
I had 45 laundered shirts and 10 pants and 14 everything else and a couple comforters. And just looking for that level of detail.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you're just specifically looking for item type though, right?
That's the part I think where I keep getting wrapped around the axle is I say one thing and they say, well, I can't do it in that way. And then, well, do you mean item type? I don't know. It's your guys' system. I don't really care what part it comes out of or what you call it. As long as I have those four buckets, name it whatever you want or tell me what I'm supposed to say, that's fine. But yeah, I'm just looking for four buckets of piece counts of those items.
I gotcha. And you are with Twin Peaks, right?
Correct?
Perfect. Give me one moment. I can show you kind of what I mean and why I'm asking it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm just
No problem.
building the report at the moment. So the reason that they're asking for, or the reason why I had also asked was, you're just wanting item types. So if you're wanting item types rather than say departments or whatever, that's a totally different type of report,
Okay.
or at least you're looking for different classifications, I should say.
Okay.
So first
And,
we're
and
looking
we're
for
definitely we're
items.
definitely struggling on the language because he says one thing and I'm like, I don't care. It's like, well, I can't do it that way. Like, but how can I get there? And that's where we seem like we're running around circles. Like, I'm gonna jump on a call and see if I can talk to someone in person.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And so you wanted pants.
Hmm.
What
And it can be
else?
all pants, right? So it can be pants, the pants category or the pants bucket, just all pants,
So
right?
you're talking about all of these pants.
Yep.
I gotcha. That's probably what the confusion is. Adding all of these.
Well, if they're in the same category, then you should just be able to use category.
Yeah, but if he's wanting it listed, like say we were to group by item type after we put in all of the classifications, then it'll be fairly easy to see because we can group by item type and then it'll show all of the item types, all the counts. Obviously, then you need to go through and add in the item dates where are you looking for a detailed date?
Sure.
Okay. And then we'll just do this week just so we can narrow down these numbers. And so that way, this is what it'll look like, right? And then
And so
each individual
that's
thing.
yeah. And so I'm looking for is just four buckets, right? I don't want to see all of the detail, right? I just
Hmm.
want to know a pants bucket, a laundered shirt bucket, even if it's a woman's, laundered shirt or a men's, I don't care. Just laundered shirts, and then everything else that would be considered dry cleaning or front press or whatever.
Chris, what I'm thinking is that he's going to need to go through and add aliases, and then we'll be able to sort by alias. Am I thinking on the right track or no? Chris,
Sorry, I just joined, so I wasn't here for the beginning of the conversation. But
that's okay.
it sounds like you guys are trying to figure out how many pieces from each category. So undershirts, pants, dresses, et cetera, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I just want three buckets. I don't want all of the items, right? I just want to
Yeah.
have three stations, right? I have a pants station, I have a front press station, and I have a laundered shirt station. I just want to see what the count is each day for each of those stations.
Yeah, so Tyler, if you filter by the category though, right? He should have a category in there for laundry shirts, pants, and then no. Scroll up and then do item attributes and then add a new filter, right?
Hmm.
For category. Yeah. And then do
You're saying this.
yeah. So like then close that. You can let's use this as an example, and then group by the
Yep.
same thing. Yeah. So it should look like that, right? So look, it should be like shirts, pants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're trying to separate the two, like for example, if you just want to separate like laundry shirts and then dry clean shirts, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
it has to be some type of, so there has to be some type of categorization with it. So like we can separate it by category, which means if you do separate it by category, that means you have to add those items to a different category. Or you could do it by item type, but you will have to specify each item, and you don't want that, right? We really want to group them by something. So you can either do what Tyler was saying by alias, or you can do it by category. But either way, you're going to either have to move items into their own category so they can be classified, or you're going to have to assign an alias to that group of items also for it to be classified. So it has to be a unique identifier to in order to break it up the way you want to, but you
Uh-huh.
can get it broken up that way. We just need to
Yeah.
figure out which pieces need to go where.
Yeah, I'm fine helping put whatever alias, all the items into that. I mean, that's fine. I just want to know it's possible, right? And so that's where
Yep.
we got stuck.
Yeah, it's possible. We can do it. It's
Okay.
definitely it's an easy report once you put everything where it needs to go.
Yeah, so like I said, I have an open ticket for this. So if we can give whoever's got the open ticket to talk about, adding. So really, what I'm missing is that third alias, where it's kind of the catch-all of everything else. And so if we can let them know, hey, we need this third alias that has everything else in it, that'd be great.
Yeah. As soon as we can get a
Okay.
look at that ticket, and then we'll deep dive into it
Okay.
further.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds very
Okay.
easy and very possible.
So who should I follow up with after this to exactly? It doesn't have to be done today. There's not a rush on it, right? But
In the ticket, can you, because obviously you have an open chat with them, can you say, hey, I just spoke to Tyler and Chris, can you send this to them? And then,
yeah, I'll do that. Great. Thank you.
yeah,
That
of
was all.
course, not a problem. And you can hang out here. People will have other questions, and
Yeah, no problem.
of course. All right. I think Marlene, you were next.
Hi, how you been?
Doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. Back from vacation, so day 2, still chilled.
Yeah.
I have a question about refunds and claims. And pay a claim. Like I have a client, if you want to bring my instance up, his name is Michael Cohen, Cohen.
All right.
And I think I don't give refunds enough, so I forget. So he has an order that was he had sent back to us for a tailoring that we missed a hole, and then they charged him to clean his sweater again, and then charged him to sew the hole. So he had something else on that order, some shirts or on that delivery. I think the order number is
Which Michael Cohen? 'Cause it looks like you have two.
COHAN. COHAN.
Gotcha.
Got him? Yeah, Woodland Drive. So it was an $88 order, and the invoice ends in 114. Now, so if you look at the screen,
Mhm.
there's pay a claim or void the payment. If I pay the claim, the $88, or refund the claim, really, is that going to refund back to his credit card?
Yeah. So the question that
Explain the difference to me.
Yeah, so the question that I would rather ask is, are you expecting the customer to repay you for this?
No, we shouldn't have charged him. It was our boo-boo.
Okay, gotcha. So the biggest difference between voiding a payment and paying a claim is voiding a payment essentially just cancels the payment or sends that payment back to where everything needs to be paid again. So it'll repopulate here. It'll still say that it's ready to go, but it needs to be repaid. Because now it's in an unpaid status and all the money went back to the customer or whatever way that you chose to give it back to them. Whereas if you're paying a claim, that's essentially just doing hey, we're just giving your money back, and that order is like you don't have to pay for that. You're just, as everybody else would do, is just a refund.
Right, but I don't want it to show up. I want it to, I want to change it to be a redo so that it doesn't show up in number one in our revenue. And it also, we track our do-overs. So if I make it into a do-over or redo, then I'll have, it'll go into that bucket.
So you definitely, because you also can modify how much you put on that claim. So if you hit that button for that $88, for example, you could only re-give them back $40. Like you can modify the amount, so you have
Well, we're going
flexibility.
to give him everything back.
So
I know.
So,
I'm saying that one has you have some flexibility there. But then you would put a new order in at $0 as your redo as your
well,
traffic.
here's my question. So I want it to be 0, but then do I have to undo the pickup and then change the invoice in Close Tracker to say redo?
okay, so in your case, Marlene, because you guys are tracking the redos, right? So you guys are
Yes.
using the original order and you're marking it as a redo, and then you're tracking that order that you redid because it came back incorrectly, right?
Yes, but you see 8830 was one dry cleaning invoice and 750, I guess he had a laundered shirt or something. So those are right, laundered shirt. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the issue here, right, is when you do pay a claim, it does refund the money back to the customer and it
Okay.
leaves the order in whatever status it was when the claim was paid, right? So for example, once the order is picked up and it's paid for, you pay a claim on that order is done. You will have to redo the new order and you'll have to add the redo option to the new order, right? If you use void payment, which you can do, it
Mm-hmm.
voids the entire transaction though. So if
Right.
he paid with 13 orders and you only needed one order to get paid back, it's gonna refund the entire thing. You can then add that redo option to the same invoice that
Mm-hmm.
you're redoing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it refunds the entire transaction. So you'll have to recharge him again for the difference of everything else.
Okay, and if I pay the claim, it just refunds him his money, but leaves that as an $88.30,
Claim, and
uh,
then you'll have to redo a new order to get the redo function on it to get the redo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna void the payment. I mean, obviously, if it was 13 items, I wouldn't want to like do that. And then I can take that 8830 out of AR, send it back
Exactly.
to, right. Okay. Now there's one other question I have for you. If you can go to Michael Cohen for a second, go to his name. Okay. If you go to pickup or route, go to route if you could. Right. Now you see that this client is a Tuesday, Friday pickup only. And we're having a problem with our routes. The calls come into the office. So somebody might have a box checked Tuesday, Friday, but the client called on a Thursday and they are scheduling his pickup on a Thursday when it says here, will call may only be scheduled for Tuesday and Friday. So how do they have the ability to schedule that pickup if those days are checked?
Yeah, so that's just for automation purposes. That's keeping the automation in check. But if anybody is over here clicking, like Joseph created a stop Tuesday,
Right.
January 13th, they manually went through and created it. You can choose
Is
whatever day you would want.
you can.
You just have to
But how
choose it.
how do I tell the end user, like in the office, like, oh no, this route doesn't go on Thursday, and you should, there should be like some mechanism
Mhm.
because the people in the office, they're familiar with the routes, but if you look at our route or if we go downtown Manhattan, we only go there on Mondays. Somebody's scheduled all the way at the tip of Manhattan today, where we were there yesterday. um so is the only way to tell other people is to put a note in, and then the note pops up?
Well, so they should only be able to select the specific days that the route runs. So you see, like Route 6 is not on here. So they wouldn't be able to put it Thursday as Route 6.
Well,
You know what
that
I
was a
mean?
bad example. I had another client like on a Route 1, and we were down in I think her name, if you go to Haley Crown, Crown and H, right there. Okay. So if you go into route, we're
Hmm.
only down in her area Mondays and Thursdays, but no one in the office sees that. So when she called for a pickup today, if you go to delivery,
Hmm.
somebody in the office manually scheduled that for today, but we're not typically in that area today. Now we went, but
So
what's the point in choosing the day?
so so in this case, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you might benefit from using sub routes, But the issue here is that the main route itself actually runs
Runs
every
every
day.
day. Yes.
Right. So because the route runs every day, the only thing that that piece controls is if the automation picks up that customer or drops off that customer on those specific days. But the reason why those other options are still available to the customer is because some people or some in some cases that route runs every day, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes to the same areas. So you still want the option to put that customer on a Wednesday. Maybe they're only doing Tuesdays and Fridays because they're home.
Right.
But this
Uh-huh.
week, but this week I'm home on a Wednesday, right? So that's why it functions that way. But if you're looking for a way to,
A workaround.
yep,
So,
for it to work, sub routes might actually do you better because you can create a sub route that only runs Monday and Tuesday or Monday and Thursday, right? And then it only displays Monday and Thursday. That could be an option, but outside of that, the only other thing is kind of would be a development thing, right? We would have to kind of create a function for something like that.
or I have to put a note in that just pops up and it becomes a yellow box that, you know,
Yeah, the only issue with the note is that you're gonna have to do it every account that has a special
right.
request.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pain in the neck. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It was worth an ask.
The only other thing that I could recommend would be to let your office personnel know to check this
Hmm.
route
I
area
did. Yeah, that
first
was what I said.
before
Yep.
selecting delivery or pickup, whichever one is
Yep.
going there.
I told them this morning. Okay. Thanks. That was very helpful.
Yeah, of course. All right, Enrique.
Hey Taylor, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, I have a quick question in terms of we went to an event over the weekend and I was able to sign up a lot of people. And I can go to the day that, the days that we went to that event. But I
Hmm.
did actually use the reference like um, slot where they were coming from. So we went to a gown show this over the weekend, and I was able to sign a lot of people. But I'm trying to go through our customers, and you know how you can find out where they are, where they're coming from. I don't want to do it manually. Do you know where I can go and find that out?
Yeah, so I think the best place to go would be to go to reports,
Okay, give me one. Okay.
and then do you see the customer tag?
Yeah, customer tag.
And then it'll be a drop down to where there's customer and then new customers.
Mm, yeah.
I would click new customers there, and then filter for whatever day you're looking for.
So I was doing that. Let me see. That's exactly what I was doing. And it's
Mhm.
let me,
I
you said put a new customer, right?
I think
Yeah, yep.
I think Tyler he's using a customer preference a
Uh,
custom we might need a KPI.
yeah, that was the next part that I was going to go to. If this wasn't showing what you wanted, because this will show
Well,
everybody that was created for those
yeah,
days.
so it is showing, and it wasn't live, it was just like about like 30 people. It is showing, but in the source, it's just saying Greenwood. Obviously, I also decided to use this store compared to our plant production, but
Hmm.
I wanna identify because I did type in wedding gown show 2026. I want to actually be able to reach out to them because I'll know that that is the customer regarding a gown. I don't want to contact someone and then I know that it was just on literally Sunday and Saturday. So anybody that I see that day for this store, I know that they're coming from that show. But I want to be able to see the fact that I typed in wedding gown show. I know in some cases I'm like, oh, this customer comes from Google, Outlook, a friend. I've seen that. I just don't know where that is. That's what I'm asking.
I gotcha. Let me do this because I see that you have it. It's an open text field. So
Because I can show you my screen in what I see. And in this I'm like, okay, yeah, all of this are the customers I signed up, but I want to actually also see the fact that it says, wedding gown show 2026.
yeah, and did you type it the same every
Yes, all of them,
customer that
all of
came in?
them, all of them that I signed up. That because I figured I'm like, oh, once I contact them again, I want to make sure that
Hmm. Okay, I see a couple different ones. Here, let me just show you.
mhm.
All right, so I filtered by, this is just quick, just because, so you have an open text field for your referral source. So it'd be something that I'd have to manually type in, and just off a brief search, I found that it was typed 3 different ways.
Probably. I mean, yeah, it was a busy day, and yeah, it was a lot of people. But yeah, I try to make it as compact as wedding gown show 2026.
Yeah, so I can save this, and then you can go through it if you'd like. Maybe there's other ways that it was spelled too. If it was lowercase w, it would be towards the end.
I know. I think that it's just when it says wedding gown and wedding gown show 2026. Those are the only ones.
Okay,
And I'm,
gotcha.
I'm trying to get better in having me and the rest of my team, actually bring and put in the store because they don't, and I keep on telling them like this is very important, like so we can kind of follow that whatever they're coming for more. But could you save that for me? That way, yes.
Yeah. And then do you want it to be placed under a tag?
Yeah, could you put it on the customers?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler. You're super helpful as well as Chris. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So as long as you have the customer's tag underneath your dashboard under here, you'll be able to click on it. If not, you'll have to come to tags and then customers and then look for it here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this makes it a lot easier. I was kind of doing manually on that day, but now that I have it this way, this is so much better. Again, thank you guys.
Yeah. And then if you look into there and you don't see the information that you want, obviously let us know and then we can go through and add different columns to it so you have the data that you need.
No, thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. All right. I don't know who was next, if it was Brian or Marlene.
Marlene, go first.
Okay.
Okay.
I just noticed if you go back to that Michael Cohen, we raised our prices probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I was looking at his laundered shirt, which is at our old price, not at the new price. And I actually saw that on another client from our East Hampton store. So what happened there? Because if I go to my price list, I see shirt laundered, it's $850. Did I
When
lose
did
you?
No, I hear you. When
Oh.
did you update it?
Oh, like 2 months ago. 6 weeks, 2 months, beginning of the year, something like that.
Can you check to see if the price was manually changed, Tyler?
Yeah, it was.
So
No, hang on. Let me open up that price list real quick.
That's our clean price list on Michael
It's
Cohen.
under unknown.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you show me where you're going?
That one is set to 750. So that price list is actually set to 750 is under.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the price list and I'm looking at 850. If you go into our price list go to shirt laundry, because I think that's what his order said. Now that's interesting because he's on maybe the wrong unknown
Right,
Manhasset
yeah.
store. That's the problem. Okay, we have to get him. I got to see who's on that store.
Which he's probably in a group, which is unknown Manhasset store
okay,
group.
let's get rid of that.
So
And is there a report I can look at that will help me find all those people that are
Well,
in
seems how it's
unknown?
seems how it's a group, you can actually just search for it, and then all of these customers will have the exact same information,
Holy
which it's
moly.
automatically set by the agent. So,
Oish. No, that's an employee account. I don't know what that is.
well, but right here, automatically set for agents. So it doesn't matter if this is an employee account or whatever it is. This is going to pull anybody from this agent and bring them over to
I have to undo
this
that
group.
then.
And that's why it's also set to this price list.
Right.
So if it needed to be a different price list.
It does.
But I think we would need to figure out what customers are supposed to be here and what customers are not supposed to be here. And if none of them are supposed to be on there, then we have to find a different method.
None of them are supposed to be on there.
Nobody's supposed to have this price list.
No, I don't know where that came from.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into this further. And
We can, yeah, then what do I have to put a ticket in or something?
yeah, please.
Okay, so what should I call it? Unknown price list? Unknown Manhasset price list?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
How many people are on there? Can you tell? Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a
Lord.
good question. Let's find out.
Do I want a callback or a ticket request? Callback.
Well, just a ticket request.
No.
That'll be easiest, yeah. 235 people have that price list.
Wow. Eesh. Okay.
But if I was to look by group,
Manhasset unknown. They're all in Manhasset unknown.
there's 1,700 people on that group.
Okay, yeah, we need to figure this out. Okay.
Yeah. Submit in a ticket and we'll go through this.
Put your name on it or just leave it generic?
I'm sure there'll be multiple people working on it. It won't just be me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And the reason I say that is I don't want to, because it's very in depth. I don't want any mistakes to happen. So I'd rather have people double check me.
Okay, I'm just going to say check with Tyler. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, Brian.
All right, real quick. I am cleaning up some of the item types in Smart, and we had previously we were doing temp tags and things like that, and we have a multi-piece folder, and in that folder we have men's suit jacket 2-piece, men's suit pants 2-piece, men's suit jacket 3-piece, and like we went ahead and because coming from the old system we had different things set for different things. So I guess my question is I want to clean that up and get rid of some of the ones that we do not use. So my question is what happens to the barcode if an item comes in that I've deleted the item type?
Yeah, so if you deleted the item type and the item comes back through the door, it's just going to prompt and tell the whoever's detailing it at the time just that they need to redetail it for the item type. The item
For
type
the
is
item type,
essentially
okay.
just going to be blank.
Got it. Okay. All right. I think so. It's just we have to redetail again, which is not a lot. Okay.
Yeah, so all the other information will be there, like color, brand, whatever else you had listed, it'll still be there. It'll just have a blank item type, and you just have to choose the new item type, whatever it falls under.
Gotcha. Okay. The other thing is we had kind of a standard upcharge. Or it's a special care that we would upcharge. I no longer want to do it. I no longer want to do it that way. So that's another thing that I'm going to remove. But again, what happens to a piece of clothing that comes in that had this upcharge on it, and it's no longer there? Is it just not going to charge it, or what happens?
So it kind of depends on how the upcharge is set up. Are you doing it based on brand, and are you just removing the special care?
No, it's just the special care, not based on brand, and I would just be removing the special care.
Okay, yeah, then it just won't have it on there.
Got it. Okay, so we'll remove it, and it'll be gone from any historical items that come in. Will no longer have that upcharge.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's it for me right now, at least.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. All right. Other questions? Issues? All right, Mubin.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Let me know. Good, man. Thank you. If you can't hear me well, just let me know. I'm in the car right now. But I had a question about so the multiple locations under the same business name. I think I might have asked it before, but in regards to pricing, could we adjust pricing based off of location? And I'm asking that because some of our stores are geared more like in the suburb areas, and then others are in the more downtown areas. And based off of like their locations, there's different demographics. And so I was wondering if that is something that's possible, or would it get like too confusing in the system or anything like that?
So it's definitely possible, but I would put an asterisk on that because it really comes down to if each store has its own price list and group associated. So that way you can go through and just change the price list that you want. I guess a group doesn't have to be associated, but as long as each store has it. So generally, whenever you set up, each store has its own price list, you associate it to a group. So that way you can, associate everybody, kind of like what we discovered with Marlene's company, is that they have a group that is associated based on agent. So that way they don't have to manually go through and make sure people are in the correct groups for the price list. But you can go through and change each individual price list however you want. It can get a little weird whenever you try to do increases depending on how in depth your price list go realistically. But if you only have one or two price lists, it's fairly simple.
Okay, so all of our stores currently are on the same price list. So if we adjust the price of like, let's say a pair of pants or something like that, it's going to be adjusted for all the stores. There's just a couple stores actually, we're going to start off with just one store that's going to have the different prices outside of the rest of the 7. So, in terms of like doing that, would it be just like you said, create a different like you kind of separate them under a different pricing list or agent? And realistically, about how much time would it take to do that, or would it be like something y'all could help us out with on the like at a different time?
So what I would do is I would start off by just creating the different price lists.
Okay.
And then we can go into if we want to do it by group, so that way they're associated by agent. So that way then you can work on going through and changing either individual prices or bulk changing prices.
Okay, I think I'm getting an idea of what you're talking about. So we'll definitely we can work on the separate price list, and then we'll I guess I'll probably reach out to y'all at a different time to get more specific with it in terms of implementing it.
Yeah, definitely let us know. And you can even direct it towards me. I can help you out with setting it up, or at least show you kind of the background information whenever you have time, so that
Sure.
way you know what to look for. And obviously, I'm going to want to, like train you on how to do it, so that way in the future, you're confident in making changes. Obviously, once it comes to doing bulk changes, that's when uneasiness starts setting in, and you start reaching out to us to make sure that everything's done correctly, which totally okay with and get that. But yeah, it seems how I noticed you have basically, like you said, every single customer is on base price list. So we're at a good floor to start on.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we'll just work on it on like pen and paper or Excel sheet, and then once we're ready, then we'll reach out to you, and then we can go step by step through that process. So we learn and we don't screw anything up or anything like that.
So actually, just put in a ticket. Let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation because I want you to do everything in smart.
Okay.
Because you don't have any price list created other than base price list. So it'll just be easiest that way, and then we can. And I would definitely recommend for anybody who's trying to do things with price lists offline to do it with Excel or Google Sheets, whatever you prefer, and not pen and paper. That is very difficult.
All right, I got you. I was just saying pen and paper, but yeah, sure, Excel's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I appreciate it. We'll get that working on our end.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Other questions? Saw we had a couple people join late. Welcome. If you have any questions, feel free to either unmute yourself, ask a question, or raise your hand in the bottom, hit the react button, and just hit the raise hand. Hey, Marlene.
I came back to see if I missed anything. I had to get on a phone call.
Nope.
No?
Just had another price list question, but we'll
Oh, shit. Okay.
we'll handle that offline.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think I'm good for the moment. And since I've been away for 2 weeks, I'm going to catch up with you next week, but appreciate the input.
Okay. So did you put in a ticket
I put
for
a
that
ticket
price
in.
list?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. All right.
All right. Very good.
Thanks, hon. I'll see you next week.
Of course.
Or speak to you later about that other thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Bye-bye. Yep. Bye.
All right. Other questions? If there aren't any other questions, we can probably go ahead and end the meeting early. And of course, if you do have questions, we do have the live agent meeting running till 5 today. So you can always hit the headset up in the top right, join the meeting, speak to any of the agents that are live in the meeting. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say that there are no other questions. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Thanks, guys.